In today's video, we're going to look at staging and how you can set up your animations so that everything works and flow perfectly. So stay tuned. Hey guys, my name is Ion and welcome to my Start Animating YouTube channel, the channel that is specifically aimed at everyone that is new to animation. And if that is you, welcome, you are at the right place. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also click on that little notification bell so that you can get notified every week when I upload a new video. And if you are new to animation or you want to try or start out and you have no idea where to begin, I've got some great news. I've got some free video training, and in this training you will work alongside with me, and by the end of the video you would have created your very own animation. And that is what I want. I want you to animate. That's the best way to learn. You'll learn the basics of animation, so after that training you'll be able to continue and start working on your own animation, and you'll have the foundation to continue your journey. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure in the description box below there's a link. Go and sign up. I'm sure that will be the best way for you to start off your animation journey. Now, today we're going to look at staging. Now, if you follow my YouTube channel, you'll know in the past that I've covered a few topics regarding the 12 principles of animation. A while back I did timing. In the previous video, I looked at arcs and how to use that. Today I'm going to look at staging. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I have to apologize. I have to work. I'm currently working on a project, so I don't have my drawing tablet and my laptop with me, so I don't have my, I can't draw and illustrate and show you guys exactly how to do, or how staging works, and I have to work on Crazy Talk Animator 3. So just my apologies, so bear with me. I'm going to struggle through this, but I'm sure I'll get my point across, and hopefully you guys will understand the principles of staging. So when we look at staging, I like to divide it into two sections. The first section is your layout, your scene layout. So you want to lay out everything in your scene so that it works. To give you a quick example, my first animation, I didn't know anything about the 12 principles of animation, and I started animating, and halfway through a scene I realized that my characters aren't in the right order. So this one character had to walk into a street lamp or street pole, and he was in the wrong position to do that. He was in the middle of the three characters, and he needed to be on the side. So what ended up happening is I had to redo everything, and I have to start from scratch. And that is because I didn't do my planning. My staging was incorrect. So staging is where you do your layout. Where should your characters be in the scene? And then also your props. So basically you will do this when you it really depends on your workflow. Sometimes you'll have your scene already created and you import everything and you use that to work from, and normally you will do your planning or your staging for your layout during your storyboarding. So that's why storyboarding is also very important. So when you do your storyboarding, normally you will fix these types of issues that I had because I didn't do my storyboard back then. I was brand new to animation. I didn't know all of these things. I didn't know about the 12 principles of animation. I didn't know about storyboarding. I didn't know all of these things. So I've made that mistake. Now I know. So when you do your storyboarding, it is very important to then plan out your scene. Where should your characters be in the scene? Where are they placed? Normally you can also work on your cinematography when it comes to staging as well. So that is the first section. The second section is, I don't really have a word to describe it, but it's really to guide your audience into a certain direction or where you want them to look, and also to set the stage, to set the scene of what is happening. To give you guys a quicker idea, here I have a character in a scene. So again, my apologies for working in Crazy Talk Animator 3. But the first thing we want to do is what's going to happen in the scene. As you can see, it's raining, there's thunder, and we've got a character that may walk. Okay, so we need to place him in a scene. So now we first need to know, where is he walking to? Okay, is he going to walk, stop, walk across the street, and then further? But if he walks here, he's going to walk into these objects right there. So we need to either move these objects, or we need to move the character. So let's move him. Maybe we make him smaller, we put him there. So if he walks now, he will walk behind that. So now we kind of know where he needs to walk. So this is basically your layout. You plan where you're going to place your character, how it's going to move in the scene, etc., so that you don't animate and halfway through the scene you see, okay, this character is going to walk into those objects, I have to restart. So you do your planning beforehand. So that is what I mean about layout. So you can do your layout, and then the next one is you want to tell your story. You want your characters or the audience to you want to lead your audience into the story, and you want them to focus on the things you want your audience to focus on. Okay, so for instance, what do we want our audience to focus on? So maybe with storytelling, we want the audience to know it is raining very hard. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to click on the camera. Let's go to make sure we are on the first frame, and let's just zoom out. Okay, so maybe we can start off the scene on the thunder, so the audience will now know that, okay, it is raining very hard. Okay, so let's just click on, just want to make sure, lightning flash. Okay, we've got that, and let's just make sure our animation or our rain, it's heavy rain, make sure that's selected, and we've got it on loop, and then that one as well. So we just make sure we've got everything right, and there is some thunder. Okay, so the first thing, we've got our camera, and we want our audience to know that it is raining hard. So a great way to do that is to focus on that lightnings for the beginning of our scene. So we're going to animate the camera. So if we press play there, so let's from frame 50, now we're going to move, let's say frame 70, we're going to move down to right about there, and let's just bring a slow in, slow out motion in. There you go. That is too fast, as you can see. So again, with timing, let's just drag that out. Let's have a look, see what it looks like, and it moves down. Still way too fast, so let's take it up to 140, and let's see what it looks now. That looks better. And then at that point, your character can now, let's select our character, let's add a walking motion to it, animation, motion. I love these cartoon ones, and let's just add a loop to it. Let's go to our character, motion, and let's just drag that. Okay, so now he's walking, and at this specific, when the character is there, so let's from transform. I'm not used to Cartoon Animator 3 anymore, so I really have to adjust. And let's say at that point your character is there, so let's see if that works. Then we can fix our timing. That's way too fast, so let's bring that, take that further. Let's have a look. And it goes down and our character walks. And now maybe from when the character is there, now we can let the camera follow him. So up to that point the camera needs to be there. So if we press play, he's still walking too fast, but you guys kind of get the idea. So what did I do here? Just to summarize, the first thing I did was I have done my layout. I've made sure where I need to place the character so that it interacts the way it should with the scene. Normally if you have more characters, you'll need to make sure you place the characters where they should be. And then the second thing I did was I tried to lead the audience focus to where I wanted. So the first focus was I want the audience to know it is raining hard, so I've placed the focus on the thunder and the rain. And once the audience see, okay, now it is raining, it is heavy weather, the camera then moved to the character. So now the audience see the character walking and the camera is now following this character. So now the audience know, okay, it's raining hard and this is the main character. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm leading the audience where I want them to focus. I want them to focus on the weather because that's part of the storytelling, and then I lead them to the character that's walking, and then you can take the story from there. So you, that is basically what you do. And then just another tip when it comes to leading your audience, never let there be more than one leading action taking place at the same time. For instance, you don't want anything that will draw the audience attention away from where you want them to focus. For instance, let's say I go to the beginning, I want them to focus on this heavy rain, okay, and the thunder. So I've done that. But if I have a aeroplane flying there at the background, so what's going to happen? So I've got the thunder and the aeroplane. So the audience, their focus will be either on the aeroplane, or they will think, will the lightning hit the aeroplane? So that is not what I want them to think about. I want them to realize the weather and then take them to the character. So you don't want two things at the same time, but you can bring in the aeroplane later. For example, we've got the heavy weather and the rain, it goes to the character walks, and then the character hears something and he looks and there's an aeroplane falling. Then that makes sense because it is one leading action to the next. There's not a lot of things fighting for the audience attention at the same time. So never let there be more than one leading action at a time. There should only be one. So you should lead your audience from the one leading action to the next. So it is the thunder, the rain, the character walking, and then the character stops, and then the character looks up and he sees the aeroplane falling. But if it's everything at once, the audience won't know what's going on. There's too many things to focus on. So that is basically something to keep in mind as well. So if I can just summarize quickly, staging, I break it up in two. The first one is your planning and your setting of your stage, your layout. So that is the first one. The second one is you want to lead your audience attention to where you want it. So guys, that is basically staging. I should truly apologize. I wanted to draw out everything. I think I would have been able to explain it so much better. But as I've mentioned, I'm currently busy with a project, and so everything is set up on my animation desk, and I couldn't really I couldn't really use that setup. So my apologies. I hope you've understood it. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I will see you guys next week with another video. So from me, God bless and happy animating.